What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we have the DP-12. So this is a shotgun that I have wanted to try for at least 10 years since I first saw videos of it on YouTube way back in the day. And I actually just bought this one for myself. My birthday was last week, so I bought myself a DP-12 as a birthday gift. The DP-12 is a double barrel 12 gauge pump action shotgun that uses double magazine tubes to maximize capacity. The pump also engages both magazine tubes simultaneously. So when you rack it, it feeds 2 shells into each barrel at the same time, and then you get 2 trigger presses for every pump of the shotgun. That's cool. Capacity on this thing is 14 plus 2, so 16 12 gauge shells fully loaded. That's a lot of destruction. I'll show you how it works close up in a little bit, but this one has never been fired, so let's change that. This thing is heavy, fully loaded. Unloaded, it feels like all the weight's in the back. It's got that big fat booty, but when you load it, it kind of evens things out. All right, let's try it. Yeah, I like it. You can kind of feel both shells going in at the same time. That's weird. I thought it might have some recoil, and I was right. These little bullpup shotties usually do. Are we still going? God dang. It feels like it's going forever. One thing that's really tough to get used to is shooting twice for every pump. I've been shooting pump action shotguns for so many years, it's gonna be a tough habit to break, but I'll shoot it until I get there. I love it. Let's try and clear the beautiful Shoot Steel Texas Star. Best steel targets in the world, by the way, are from shootsteel.com. And I think I have 12 rounds in here. So if I can't get it done with 12, then I'll quit YouTube right now because that's embarrassing. I haven't zeroed the EOTech, by the way, so we're just going for it. Nice. I think I'm in love. I do believe the first plate that fell got wedged in between the stand and the star and kind of stopped it from rotating, so that might have helped me a little bit. Those must have had like a cardboard or a paper wadding because I definitely saw some confetti coming out of the barrel. One of the best things about shotguns is they spread so you can hit moving targets. Let's throw a full pop can and see if we can shoot it out of the air. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at how the DP-12 works. Number one, this shotgun is fully ambidextrous, which as a lefty, I obviously appreciate. The safety, the action release, of course, the ejection port is right there on the bottom, and it's pretty self-explanatory to operate, but I'll go ahead and show you how it's done. So you load your shells in the bottom where they also eject from, and you just load each tube individually. And hopefully you guys can see in there, we have 2 shotgun shells. You go ahead, rack the pump, and shoot twice. It's like the ultimate double tap shotgun. Then to eject the shells, you obviously pull back on the pump. I usually do not like these long vertical grips like you have on this one. I will say it's kind of necessary to operate the shotgun on this because you have to grab it to actuate the pump, but I still think it could be shorter. The reason I don't like these, especially on, big thumpers like this, is because if this thing breaks off or fails, you're kind of putting your hand right out in front of the barrel. So I try not to use them if I don't have to. On ARs and stuff, I kind of use them as just hand stops and grip it like that. But with this shotgun, it's, kind of mandatory to operate the gun. This thing has ran flawlessly for me so far. I will say there's a couple things I don't like about it already. Number one, the cheek rest is extremely hard and it sits up way too high. Like, this is a lower 1/3 EOTech and it's still not tall enough to use correctly. So you really have to dig your face down into that buttstock, and it kind of hurts because it's so damn hard. Other than that, I really have no complaints. This thing is awesome. It's an absolute destroyer, as you've seen, and well worth the money that I spent. So DP-12, I love it. So one thing I'm very curious about with the DP-12 are the points of impact. So I have a big cardboard silhouette stapled to the backstop, and I want to see how big the difference is between the two barrels, because that could be important if you're trying to actually hit the target. For this one, we will go ahead and use Wolf double-aught buckshot, and I believe it fires the right barrel first. So let's see where they hit. Okay, that one is kind of on the right side of the target. And that one's a little more to the left, but actually very close. And by the way, that was from at least 10 yards away, and even out of two barrels, you can see how tight that shot pattern is. So I did notice that the first one went slightly more to the right side of the cardboard, and then the second one went over here, but they really hit in the exact same spot. If you didn't know that was two barrels, you wouldn't think anything of it. So this is the Shoot Steel clay popper. The way it works is you put a sporting clay on that thing back there, and when you shoot the target, it falls over and catapults the sporting clay into the air. Like that. And this is a clay pot. These are really fun to shoot because they make a big poof. I'm sure you've all seen Hickok 45 smoking pot on his channel. I want to put one on the clay popper and see if we can launch it into the air. This will probably be an epic fail, and if I miss it, it's definitely gonna break on the ground, so. One shot, let's try it. It worked! Well, it worked, and then I panicked because I wasn't expecting it to, but I recovered and made the shot. That was awesome. Well, as we've seen, the DP-12 is a destruction machine, so we obviously have to destroy some stuff with it. You saw me trying to rack the pump right there. I think I'm out of targets. I think that was the first time in the entire video that I've tried to rack the pump after one shot. I knew it would happen. We've got 2 more rounds left and our pineapple kind of survived. Let's take it out. I love this thing. All right, guys, that is the DP-12. As I'm sure you can tell, I am in love with this thing. It's definitely one of my new favorite shotguns, and probably the shotgun I'll go to when I need to cause the most destruction. It's hard to beat 2 barrels and 16 rounds of 12 gauge. I don't know how they hold up long term. It might completely fall apart in 6 months, but for now, I am definitely a fan of this thing. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you have any experience with the DP-12, I would be glad to hear from you guys as always. If you liked the video, please hit the like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.